Welcome to episode 6 of Highly Opinionated. Y'all know when y'all hear that music, y'all know what time it is. I'm your co-host, Josh. That's your co-host, Tim. What's up, Tim?
What's up with you?
Everything good with you, my brother?
No complaints on my end.
I hear that, ladies and gentlemen. The best producer in the game. Ross, what's going on, my brother?
Ain't nothing, man. How you feeling, Josh?
I'm good, man. How you?
I can't complain at all. Same as
Good.
Tim. Got no complaints over here. I mean, I can't complain about some fantasy football stuff, but we can get to that another time. This NFL season's a little shaky to start with, but yeah, I'm sure y'all get into all of that
Absolutely. Right now in the NFL, what's down is up. What's down is up, and what is up is down in the NFL.
for
We want to
sure.
we want to thank you guys for watching last week's show. We say this every week. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. We striving to be the best. We take all criticism, good, bad, no matter what race, no matter what gender. We love it all. We appreciate you guys for your support. We're thankful for your support. We're gonna keep rocking to be the best. We love you all, and we're great, very, very thankful and grateful for you guys' support.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, on that note, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at highly opinionated __ and on X at highly O_SS. And then while y'all on YouTube already, just go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, give us a like. Yeah. Just make sure you tune in.
Absolutely. Like I said, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to last week's show. Leave comments. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Leave comments. We'll get back to them.
We will respond. We will
Absolutely.
respond. Yeah. Interactions are everything.
And also, if you ever want to come on the show, leave us a comment. Leave us a message. Obviously, the Instagram page, we got messages on there. We'll definitely have a lot of guests on, and a lot of people who've been wanting to come on. We'll definitely have those guys on. But again, DM us, write us, respond. We'll gladly respond back, and we would love to have you guys on, guys and girls. Again, it's not just a guys safe zone for guys. Women, if you know your sports and you good at it, come on in. Come on in, get comfortable, sit down for a while, speak your opinion, be highly opinionated. We love that.
For sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ross, the best producer in the game, he told you we can find us on our socials. So again, we are nothing without the best producer in the game. Thank you, Ross. Tim, you ready to get it popping, my brother?
Yeah, let's get it.
Let's get it. So let's have our recap of week 4 of the college football season. Had a lot of games last week. Let's go over the 3 games that we picked. Let's start with an upset in my mind. You called it right, brother. So I'll give you the credit and give you the credit and the glory for that. Number 19, Illinois went into Nebraska and beat Nebraska 31-24 in overtime. That was a huge win for Brett Bielema and his Illinois fighting Illini. What's your thought process on this game, man?
This was actually a good game from start to finish. I actually got to see. I wanted to see the other quarterback that they compared to Mahomes a lot. What's his name?
Dylan Raiola.
Dylan Raiola. I wanted to see him, and he looked pretty good. But not unfortunately, Illinois won the game like I thought they would. It was a great game from start to finish. I thought the quarterback, Luke Altmaier from Illinois, looked well. He went 21 from 27, 215 yards and 4 touchdowns. So he had a very clean game. And Illinois, Zaire Franklin, he's a wide receiver to watch on NFL draft board, 6'3", impressive kid, impressive receiver. So Illinois got the win like I thought, and it was a great game. Shout out to Bielema.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dylan Raiola was 24-35, 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, basically 3 yards under 300. I watched this game, bits and pieces of it. Well, let's say not bits and pieces of it. I came home. It was like the second quarter, and I watched from that on. It's a great game, great defensive game for both sides. I know you see 31-24, you think it was all offense, but no, it was actually good defense being played.
Defense,
well.
yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like both quarterbacks, Dylan Raiola and Altmaier, like you said, both played well. Altmaier, like you said, was 21-27, 215 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Raiola only had 1 interception. So both quarterbacks threw for 7 touchdowns and 1 pick. Completion percentage were in the 60s and 70s. So it wasn't like they were dinking and dacking. They were making completions and doing what they had to do. Like I said before, that was a big win for Brett Bielema. Very, very happy for those guys. Now, this week coming up, Illinois has to go on the road to Penn State. So the Big Ten is not easy. It's like the SEC. You know, you go from one tough opponent to the next tough opponent. Not saying Nebraska's the toughest opponent, but still, on the road at Nebraska is hard. On the road at Penn State is hard. So,
One thing to add, that interception the guy from Illinois made might be player of the year so far. I don't know if y'all saw that interception.
that was
Player
a
of the
hell of a
year
play.
from what I saw. Yeah,
That was a hell of
player
a
of the
play.
year so far.
Congratulations to the fighting. Let me just start. Congratulations to Illinois fighting the Illini. I've always struggled with fighting the Illini.
You ain't the only one.
Big win on the road. Congratulations to you, Brett Bielema. You're getting that program. You're getting that program into the right direction. The next game that we will go over is Utah. Utah went on the road and beat Oklahoma State 22-19. I was shocked that Utah won this game. They didn't have Cam Rising. Their starting quarterback did not play. But with Kyle Whittingham, I really shouldn't have been shocked because this is what Kyle Whittingham does. Utah they were under siege when he got there. He turned them into I shouldn't say he turned them into because Urban Meyer did it at the beginning, but he's kept them relevant, kept them consistent. Utah is going to fight hard, play good off. They're going to run the ball, play physical, and they're going to play good defense. And that's what they did on the road at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say I was shocked. I was shocked. I was shocked that the defense played as well in this conference. Like they was a great defense in the Pac-12. I didn't know how that would translate into a more, unique
More physical
conference. Yeah, more offensive. You know what I'm saying? Physical offensive conference. So that's what I was shocked about. And they actually proved me wrong because I took Oklahoma State to win the game. The score looks closer than the game actually was.
Yeah, Utah thoroughly beat them.
Yeah, they thoroughly dominated. Especially they got the running game going. The running back Michael Bernard had 25 carries for 182 yards. So they was dominating through the run game. Oklahoma State didn't get Ali Gordon going. He only had 11 carries for 42 yards. So I think that was the main difference in the game because both quarterbacks threw 2 interceptions. So I'm not gonna say they cancel out, but they basically cancel out in a way. So yeah, shout out to Utah, man. That was an impressive win.
Yeah, Ali Gordon, like you said, 11 attempts, 42 yards. That's not getting it done. And I feel like he had one good game, okay, maybe the first game against South Dakota, and he's been struggling ever since. So if Oklahoma State wants to get to where they're going, by the way, Oklahoma State has to go to Kansas State next week. That's a big Big 12 game. Both teams coming off a loss because Kansas State lost at BYU and Oklahoma State lost at home to Utah. They have to get their best player going. Best player, Ali Gordon, they have to get him going. If he's not going, they have no chance because they're not just a drop back, throw the ball team with Bowman. That's not their thing at all. Last game we'll go over from last week is Tennessee and Oklahoma. Tennessee welcomed Oklahoma to the SEC with a warm welcome. They beat them 25-15. For me, the game I picked Oklahoma, so kind of went out on a as you say, went out taking the underdog. But Tennessee was just a better team. That Tennessee defense was immaculate. They played very, very well. They forced Jackson Arnold to look bad. They had Oklahoma being really one-dimensional on the offensive tip. Couldn't be no-dimensional. They couldn't run the ball, couldn't pass. They really couldn't do anything. I was thoroughly impressed with Tennessee's defense. I felt like that was that was the best unit of the whole game. What about you?
So yeah, I told y'all I like Tennessee to cover double-digit spread, and they did that. I told y'all last week. I feel like Tennessee is the best team in college right now, and I still stand on that, especially with this big win over Oklahoma and Oklahoma. They frustrated Jackson Arnold like I figured they would, and their quarterback's pretty special to be a freshman, man. Like Tennessee got the pieces. I think like I said, them in Georgia probably the cream of the crop, but like Tennessee has been the most dominant for me from start to finish so far this year, just because Georgia had that blur with Kentucky. They have a big game coming up, of course, we'll talk about, but shout out to the Vols, man. Josh Heupel, and then Josh Heupel coming back home. I know he wanted that win bad because they fired him in a way. So, like, yeah, it was an extra motivation in that game.
Jackson Arnold struggled 7-16, 54 yards and interception. So that Tennessee defense and Oklahoma's best rusher had 22 yards. He had 12 attempts. Yeah. So Tennessee's defense, we can give credit to Josh Heupel. We know what Josh Heupel offenses is, but that defense is what's going to take them to where they need to go. I don't think they're the best team, but I definitely think you can have them in the running for the best team in the country. I don't think they're the best team. I need to see more from them, but I definitely think they are a very, very, very good team. It should be talked about more often than what we talk
Yeah,
about.
for sure.
Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and all these teams. We need to put Tennessee in there as well. Let's preview this week's games, if you don't mind. Let's start with number 15 Louisville and number 16 Notre Dame. Saturday at 3 o'clock. That game is on Peacock. Who do you like?
This game is going to come to the physicality of the trenches, but I think Riley Leonard and Jeremiah Love, they get the job done at home. I like Notre Dame to win the game. I think the running game would be a little, they'll slow down the clock. So Louisville explosive offense isn't on the field as long. So I like Notre Dame to win this game at home.
I agree. I like Notre Dame as well. I think the defense of Notre Dame will win them this game. And the defense in the running game, like you said, to keep Louisville's high-powered offense off the field, run the ball, smash them out, kind of what Michigan did to USC. Run the ball, play defense, let your defense win the game. No turnovers. That was the number one thing for Michigan. This will be the number one thing for Notre Dame at home. Run the ball, play good defense. The Fighting Irish will win this game. They have to win this game. They don't win this game, they eliminate it. Because you can't lose to Northern Illinois and this game. This is arguably the best game you have left. Win the game.
Yeah.
If they can win it decisively, win it decisively.
Like, agree with that.
Next game we have 7:30 on NBC. Number 19 Illinois at number 9 Penn State. I'll go first with this. I'm gonna take Penn State. I think Illinois gave Nebraska everything they wanted last week on the road, and the game went to overtime, as we just said when we went over last week's game. So for me, I think that Illinois gave everything they had at Nebraska, and I feel like it's kind of tough to go at Nebraska, at Penn State, no matter how many days you put in between it. Like if you put a month in between it, okay, fine, but you're only putting 5-6 days in between it. These are college kids, so they're still excited for what they did last week. So give me the Penn State Nittany Lions at home against Illinois.
So this is another interesting game for me. I feel like Penn State quarterback Drew Aller, he looks more improved from last year. He has 8 touchdowns and 1 interception, so he's playing great right now. But something about this Illinois team I like, man. Like it feels like they can pass. They have a veteran quarterback. They pass the ball well, and the ground game is good enough. With that being said, I'm taking Penn State in a close one. I don't know how this spread is 17 points.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
Yeah, I don't understand who made that, but I like Penn State in a close game.
Yeah, I would if we do a segment comes out every Friday. BY build your parlay. This will definitely be on my parlay.
That's one of my.
There's no way I don't see them beating them by 17 points.
Yeah.
You can move it up to 24 and get good value with that. So just keep that.
Yeah, for sure.
The last game that we have, and oh man, you see the number 2 team and number 4 team. Only thing that's missing is the game is not on CBS. I'm sorry, game's on ABC. By the way, Tim, I missed the SEC on CBS, but that's another subject for another day. Number 2 Georgia at number 4 Alabama, 7:30 ABC. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe on the call. Who you like?
So this game, right? It's going to be a style clash, but I believe Georgia once they get back. I know it's a new year, but y'all put them out of playoff contention, right? So I think Georgia comes in hungry. I think they force Milroe to throw the ball. Like he's not a bad thrower of the football, but he's still not the most accurate. I feel like what Georgia defense brings. They fast on all levels of defense, and I think Carson Beck is the better quarterback right now. Like not saying he's going to be a better pro, but like right now and how he runs Georgia's offense, he's the better quarterback. They'll make the necessary plays to win the game. So I like Georgia.
I'm not mad at that pick. It's actually a smart pick. I can see why you picked Georgia. And listening to you, I was going to take Georgia, but I'm gonna take Alabama. I'm gonna take Alabama because it's a new era in Alabama. And what happened last year? It's not. They don't have the same players. They don't even have the same coaching staff.
Okay.
So I feel like this is a big game for Kalen DeBoer to put his flag down at Alabama. I'm the new coach. This is what it is. And I think Georgia overlooked Kentucky last week, 2 weeks ago, so they could be prepared for this game. But I think obviously Nick Saban will still be around. Game day will be there. So I'm gonna take Alabama in this. I feel like it's a more important game for Kalen DeBoer over anybody, any quarterback, any player, any other coach in this game. Excuse me. So give me Alabama at home to beat Georgia. Before we end this segment, Tim, let's do a quick rapid fire, real quick and real fast. A few quick questions on college football. Let's start off with your Heisman front runner. Who's the current lead for the Heisman as we speak?
For me, this decision was a little tricky, but I think I looked up today. I had to make sure was correct. When Lamar won the Heisman, their record was only 8-4. So your record it matters, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like perfection for you to win a Heisman. So with that being said, I think Travis Hunter's going to get the Heisman. I think with his ability to play offense and defense right now, he has 37 catches for 472 yards and 5 touchdowns. He has 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, and 2 pass deflections. I feel like if he keeps ascending like he is, he gets about 1,300, 1,400 receiving yards, between 12 and 15 touchdowns, get 5 interceptions. I think he'll win the Heisman.
Okay, Travis Hunter for you. Uh, I'm gonna give a different name. Obviously, Travis Hunter. Most people think of him as the best player in college football. I'm gonna go with Cam Ward. I love what I'm saying. 72.4 completion percentage, has 1,400 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, QBR 94.4, second in the nation. And again, I love what he's done with Miami. I thought Miami was going to be a good team. I actually think now people have to put them in the contender category because of what he's done. He's made the offensive line better. He's made the receivers better. I even think he's made Mario Cristobal a better coach just because you have that quarterback that can stand in there and take whatever shots he needs to take, do whatever he needs to do to get the job done. So I'm agreeing with you. Obviously, Travis Hunter because he plays offense and defense. And when you're that much seen, you're going to be you're more visible so people can see. But take Travis Hunter out, give me Cam Ward. I like him as my Heisman front runner. Best coaching job so far in college football is?
So I got 2 different guys. So my first one would be Josh Heupel at Tennessee.
Okay.
Like I didn't know Tennessee was this good. I'm not saying a bandwagon fan, but like they really impressive. Like watching them, and they might be the only team that has beat 2 ranked teams so far this season. They beat Oklahoma. They beat somebody else. I can't think of the name. NC State. They beat NC State. I know they wasn't ranked high, but they beat NC State. So like Josh Heupel, they on a different level right now to me. And my second coach would be Brett Bielema out of Illinois. Illinois is 4-0. Yeah, Bielema. I can't never say his name right. But yeah, him out of Illinois, man. They making some noise, and I think they're gonna give Penn State everything they want again this week. So those are my 2 best coaching jobs so far this year.
Good choice. I'm gonna give some love to my man in Utah, Kyle Whittingham. I'm just a fan. I watched, like I said, maybe I'm prisoner of the moment of them playing Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State, but I'm just a Kyle Whittingham fan. I'm just a Kyle Whittingham fan. I love the toughness. I love the ability to lead. No matter who he has, he finds a way to win. There's no excuses that I don't have my quarterback. I don't have an offensive lineman. I don't have a running back. I don't have my best defender. He finds ways to win. And for me, that's a skill that I want the younger generation to be able to hold on to. Like in life, you either make a way or you get in the way. You have one or two things: make a way or get in the way. That's all you have. So at the end of the day, to find somebody that's going to have no BS, have no bullshit about why this ain't get done and actually get it done, Kyle Whittingham, I'm a fan. So I love the coaching job that you've done. You moved to a new conference. More likely than not, Utah is probably going to win that conference. Shout out to you, Kyle Whittingham. You're doing a hell of a job. You've been doing a hell of a job since you stepped on the foot on the University of Utah. Worst coaching job so far.
I feel like trigger y'all up. So I'm gonna trigger y'all up. I know I think I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna go a different direction because when I actually sat there and thought about it, I was like, it's not. What's the name, man? Isn't doing the worst job because he lost 12 players in the NFL, so he kind of got an excuse. New quarterback, you know what I'm saying? He kind of not an excuse, but they not. That's what we thought.
Exactly.
But somebody who I do think is doing a bad job is PJ Fleck at Minnesota. Minnesota still has problems to score. Like it's like nothing is changing over there to me. Like they just got dominated by Iowa, who barely scores points. They got dominated. The team I can't. They just got dominated week before. I can't think of the team, but it's like yeah, there's no change in Minnesota program to me. Like they look the same every year. They don't really compete with the big boys in the conference. So it's like what you doing over there? Fleck, like you need me to recruit some offensive players for you? Like what's going on? What's going on? Like I'm a little lost. Like how don't you like how do you do the same formula every year? Like normally their running game is top notch, but I'm starting to think teams like we're getting like we're moving a long time. So like you got to get a passing some type of passing game, fellas. Like I'm not understanding.
I
So
agree.
PJ Fleck,
I agree.
PJ Fleck for me.
PJ Flack. Well, for me, I'm gonna shock people with this one. Never thought I'd be talking about the Kansas football coach Lance Leipold. Very disappointed in him. Very disappointed. You had the quarterback back that you had last year. You're 1-3. You're 1-3. You lost. Have it right here. You lost to UNLV at home. Now I'm not saying UNLV is a bad team. They're coached by Barry Odom. He's done a hell of a job at UNLV. So let's give Barry Odom his love. But that's unacceptable. Kansas was predicted by some people to win the Big 12. They're 1-3. So Lance Leipold, you had your quarterback back. I feel like if you have a quarterback back, and you have some returning starters back, there should be no excuses on why you aren't successful and aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. So Lance Leipold, you haven't done a good job so far. You still have room, you still have time to change it. But as of now, you need to improve your situation, brother. Going to take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Highly Opinionated. Week 3 in the NFL, Tim. Seen a lot of crazy stuff. Like I said earlier, what's down is up, and what's up is down. What's your observations, takeaways from week 3?
I'm gonna start, man. I see my Eagles D line, man. We look rejuvenated. Boy, I was happy watching that game because I told y'all last week I felt like the Saints was the best team in football. Of course, it's gonna change every week just based on play. But early on the season, they look real dominant. So watching that Eagle D line get pressure, they ain't get too many sacks. But I'm a person that really looks like pressure in the quarterback. Sacks get you paid, but like pressure, get them to throw the ball anywhere, things of that in drives. I love that. So the D line looks rejuvenated, and that was one of my favorite things to watch this week. And they went to a 5-man front, which stopped the outside zone. Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
We look like we know how to tackle, man. It was just a good thing to watch. It was just beautiful.
Good thing to watch.
Beautiful to watch.
Yeah, let me say this before you finish up. Let me say this. So the Eagles, when they lost to the Falcons, it wasn't like they lost because they played bad defense. The best, I'm not debating you on who's the best offensive player, but let's just say that the best available offensive player, because AJ Brown wasn't there. He had the ball in his hands. He just dropped the pass. Like they make it seem like Sirianni did something wrong. Like he did what he was supposed to do. He put the ball in his best player's hand. He has to catch the ball. Simple as that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I agree 1,000% with that. It looked bad because the last drive on defense. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like Kirk Cousins, that last drive just looked so easy. It made people, you know what I'm saying, question everything. When you write, you know what I'm saying? So, but I feel you on that. The next take I got, y'all believe me about the Vikings yet? We still not sold? Like, I'm just wondering, like, I told y'all before the season what the dude put a couple dollars on Sam Darnold for comeback player of the year.
He did.
I feel like he's clearly the front runner. I mean, there's some guys in the running, but
don't forget my guy right there.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I said there's people in the conversation, but
Sam number one.
Vikings.
Sam number one.
Brian Flores and that defense. That thing look different over there.
Look a little different. Okay. A little different. And let me say this: they got pass rushers, and this is in the NFL, people sleep on this. They got 2 shutdown corners. They got Byron Murphy Jr. on one side, and I ain't gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen, they got Stephon Gilmore. He was the last corner to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Let's put that out there.
and he still look good. Like he
Still look good. Still look good.
he ain't
I
losing
ain't gonna lie.
steps.
I know his last team could have definitely used him. That's all I'm gonna
Oh,
say. His last team
yo.
definitely could have used him.
And another team. So the next one, the Steelers, man. So I'm kind of shocked with these Steelers, man. Like I knew the defense was good, but they defense was giving you like
No,
old school
they
vibes.
the best defense in the NFL. Too.
Gotta be, bro. It's hard to score 17 versus them. Like it looked like offensively, if they can score 17 to 20 points,
It's over.
it's over. Like you know what I'm saying? Like what can you do? Like you know what I'm saying? So like the Steelers is definitely impressing me. I want to see Fields. I feel like Fields passing game getting a little better each week.
Yes, it
So
is.
you know what I'm saying? So
His,
they really could be a problem.
his timing and his rhythm with these receivers. That
And
touchdown
that's
pass
what it
he
is.
had to Austin, that was a timing throw.
Time and
Soon
pace.
as
And the
he
crazy
broke on
thing,
that route, ball was right there. Ball was
and the
right there.
crazy thing about it was a great read because the safety was kind of baiting him, and the safety took a bad angle, and he still got like
Still got it.
it was
That-
it.
That's what happened. Let me say this. Jalen Hurts threw an interception in the red zone to Devontae Smith. That was on Devontae Smith. The receiver, you're supposed to cut. He's throwing an in route. You have to cut across the defender's face. So even if you don't catch it, it'll be incomplete. But he stopped.
I'm gonna give you the technical term. He's supposed to stem him in so he can get, you know what I'm saying? So he ran it flat. He's supposed to stem him and come straight across, like you said. That's the football term for all my football heads. I want to know football term.
That's why I got the best coach in the game. He played football and obviously coached the game. So you know the legal. I call it legal jargon, the legal terms for
all right.
Me. We're saying the same thing. Cut across his face. Cut across his face. Like when I saw the interception, I'm like, Devontae Smith, why you stop running? That's a trust throw. That's what Greg Olsen said on the game. That's a trust throw. I trust my receivers to be there. And one more thing before you. And it's not like Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith don't know each other. They went to the same damn college. I know Jalen Hurts went to Oklahoma, but he transferred from Alabama. He was there with them guys, so he's seen him play from he's seen him for a while. That's a trust throw. I'm sorry, Tim.
And last thing to piggyback on that pass normally goes to AJ Brown.
Exactly.
So that's his route because he's more physical. You know what I'm saying? He'll fight through the contact.
Exactly.
And my last take for this is 49ers, man. You might be right, man. The injury bug. We don't like blaming injuries, but like they missing everybody. Like it's getting dark over there, man. Like
wow,
Debo out, CMC out, Kittle out, like
Trent Williams out.
We about to, you know what I'm saying? We about to see if Purdy can play football, man. Because I think my agent called me the other day saying, Tim, you still run routes?
Yeah. Like, Tim, put some ice on them damn knees. Yeah,
you got something left.
Put some on there. Rub some on there.
So yeah, man. I don't know. That NFC West look open, man. So we'll see, man. Those are
my
takeaways.
I tell you this. To piggyback on your takeaways before I get mine. I picked Arizona as a surprise team. They might surprisingly win the division. The Rams saved their season by beating the 49ers.
Yes, they did.
Saved their season because they get that 0-3 as eliminated. And I like Seattle, but I just think like I need to see a little bit more. And I think next Monday night when they play at Detroit, that'll be a prime time. I'll be able to focus on them. You're playing a good opponent, so let's see how you rock. My observations from week 3, some of them are the same as yours. I think the Steelers got the best defense in the league. Like you said, with when Justin Herbert was in the game, it was still it wasn't like it was 7-7. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it was going to be scoring out of everywhere. It was it was a masterclass on defense. I think the Steelers, if you give them a serviceable quarterback, they can make anything do. You saw it with Duck Hodges. You saw it with Mason Rudolph. You see it. I think Justin Fields and Russell Wilson are better than those guys. But again, serviceable quarterback play, the Steelers can make anything happen. I don't want to pat my bat on the 49ers, but I told you they wasn't going to win the West, and I stand by that. Let's give some love to the Carolina Panthers. A lot of people was asking, what were they doing? How could you bench Bryce Young? How could you do that? He's the number 1 pick, and this, that, and the third, and whatever. All I know is Andy Dalton was 26-37, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. That's the best quarterback. That's the best I've seen a quarterback play in a Carolina uniform in 3 years. So, with that being said, they also had a great game by Chua Hubbard. And Deontay Johnson finally understood what being a receiver was like. He had 14 targets. He caught 8 passes, 122 yards, and a touchdown. Let's give Dave Canales, Tampa Bay's, I know Dave Canales very well. It's Tampa Bay's old offensive coordinator. Let's give him some love because he took a lot of heat with benching Bryce Young. And to be honest with you, I feel like that's a blessing for both sides. Bryce Young can sit back and learn how to watch the game and play the game. And Carolina can actually try to do something with the weapons that they had. I thought Carolina was sneaky in the NFC South before the season started. Obviously, they won't win it. But I thought they could be a little sneaky contender. So they have weapons. Let's give love to you with the Minnesota Vikings. You deserve credit. They're 4-0. Sam Darnold. I'm reading Sam Darnold's stat line as we speak. Sam Darnold was 17 to 28, 141 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones has been the second biggest free agent addition in the offseason. Number one has been your boy in Philadelphia, Saquon Barkley. Aaron Jones has been cooking. He had a fumble a couple weeks ago. Other than that, he's been cooking. Aaron Jones, 19 attempts, 102 yards, no touchdowns. He also had 5 catches, 46 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Let's give the Vikings some love. We mentioned that defense with Brian Flores, but that offense, they don't even have Jordan Addison. They don't even have T.J. Hawkinson yet. Can you imagine when they get those guys back and see what they're doing? So let's give credit to those guys. Shout out to your Eagles for beating the Saints. Tampa Bay needed that after Tampa Bay lost at home. A terrible loss at home to the goddamn Denver Broncos. Bo Nix was out there looking like Jesus. He was 25 or 36, 216 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Tampa Bay offensive line, they need y'all to get better. Y'all gave up 7 sacks. Baker Mayfield was sacked 7 times. No quarterback is going to win like that.
No.
My last observation. Tim, you picked the Cleveland Browns to go to the Super Bowl. Daniel Jones played better than Deshaun Watson. We just need to say that because that's what happened. The Cleveland Browns in trouble. Now, I gave him a pass the first week, somewhat of a pass. You cannot lose at home to Daniel Jones and tell me you're a Super Bowl contender. I don't give a damn who you missing. You could be missing God, Jesus, the disciples. You're supposed to beat Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is no good, in my opinion. No good. So I think the Cleveland Browns are in trouble. They're in serious trouble. They are obviously the 4th best team in that division. I know Cincinnati ain't won a game, but that'll change. That'll definitely change. By the time this come out, they would have already beaten Washington. So Cleveland is the worst team in the AFC North. That's a terrible performance. You cannot lose at home to Daniel Jones. Simply unacceptable, underwhelming, and underperforming.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be late on the point, but yeah, Cleveland, that offense let me down. Like, I don't feel like they using the pieces they got right. Like, I feel like they just throw the ball to Amari Cooper. Like they don't have anybody else. Like, I'm watching the games. Like, Deshaun Watson don't look as top notch right now either. But it's still like I feel like they not. Like, I feel like as a coach, I'm supposed to put you in a position to win. Like, if you notice in Green Bay, Malik Willis, they not running a regular system for me.
They run what he likes to run.
It sort of looked like a wing tee with a tight end in the backfield, a running back. You know what I'm saying? But it worked for him. Like, I feel like coaches, some of them just too stubborn and don't do what works for their personnel.
They want to do what works for them. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like I'm not jumping off the Browns bandwagon. They have to beat the Raiders this weekend. If they don't beat the Raiders, I'm halfway off the cliff. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm mid jump. But yeah, we'll see, man. Because the defense is just so special.
I just seen somebody jump off a building. I thought it was you. My bad. Go ahead.
The defense is just so special. They're going to be in every game because the defense is so special.
Absolutely.
So offensive coordinator, we just figure it out.
You got weapons. Elijah Moore. Another receiver that I like. Judy. They got Judy.
Like, figure it. There's no way y'all should be having these offensive struggles.
I will say this, bro. They are missing hella offensive linemen. So that matters.
Yeah.
That matters.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And
sure,
they don't have their best running back. Jerome Ford is nice. He ain't no goddamn Nick Chubb.
No, he definitely ain't no Nick Chubb. So, no, I agree.
So yeah, they have reasons to somewhat struggle, but I don't give a damn what you got going on. You should be able to beat Daniel Jones. The Giants don't even believe in Daniel Jones. And we how do I know that to be true? Look and see what they do in the draft in April. That tells you how much they believe in Daniel Jones. They're going to be drafting a quarterback. So that's unacceptable for the Browns. You can't be an actual Super Bowl contender. Can't lose to Daniel Jones. He sucks. So, we definitely, I'm definitely disappointed in Cleveland. They need to do better, and we will definitely have our eyes on them throughout the remaining of the season. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. Welcome back to Highly Opinionated. Week 4 of the NFL season is fast approaching, Tim. Let's give out our picks for some of these games next week, starting with the battle of Tim versus the battle of Josh. Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hopefully, A.J. Brown was not playing. We'll go travel on the road to go face my guy, Shake and Bake, Baker Mayfield. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Fox. By the way, Tom Brady, Kevin Burkhardt, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi, they all will be there. Fox, number 1 team. Battle of 2-1 teams. Philadelphia 2-1, Tampa Bay 2-1. Who you like?
So this game is hard to pick for me at the moment. I'm still going to pick it. It's hard because Devontae Smith got knocked out the game last week. So I don't know his status neither. So it's a tough game. But watching the Buccaneers last game and watching the Eagles last game, I'm leaning to the Eagles just because the pass rush. I feel like they're gonna get to Baker Mayfield and make him make some bad decisions. It might not be picks or interceptions, but in some drives, throw the ball in the dirt type of thing. So I'm leaning to the Eagles because also one thing I do like about Kellen Moore, he is running the football. So Saquon Barkley, that kid is special, man. I'm so grateful for the Giants organization that they just, you know what I'm saying, they didn't pay him. Like I was watching Hard Knocks, like I was like, boy, I love them guys, man. I love the Giants. Yes. So yeah, Saquon Barkley, I think he has another good game because like he's so versatile in the pass and the run game. Like he's just hard to stop. And yeah, I'm going Eagles. Eagles, it's going to be a close game, just depending on the status of Brown and Smith. If we had those guys back, I don't think we blow Tampa out anyway, but I think the score would be a little bit more separation if those guys play.
Tim likes the Eagles. Very, very surprising. I'm going to take the Bucs in this one. Battle of Tim team and my team. I like the Bucs. I thought the Bucs came out last week against the Broncos, underwhelming, underperformed. They didn't play to the energy level that they should have played. In the NFL, there are no easy games. An 0-16 team can beat you. If you play them like they're 0-16, they'll beat you because you're not giving them the right. You're not giving them the appropriate fear. That's a term that the great Greg Popovich always says. The appropriate fear. I think Tampa Bay will give the Eagles the appropriate fear that they need. I also think that Philadelphia came into Tampa Bay last year around this time, around week 4, week 5ish. It was a Monday night game and beat them 19-3, if I'm not mistaken. 16-3, 19-3, something like that. So give me the Bucs. I think Baker Mayfield in this offensive line now, like you said with the injuries for the Eagles, Vita Vea and Luke Geckerty, the right tackle, those are the 2 biggest injuries I'm looking for Tampa. Both of those guys can play. I love Tampa. Now, if they can't play, they're going to have to double team and triple team on the offensive line because the right tackle, Justin School, he needs to go back to school. That's how bad he is. So give me the Bucs. Our next game that we're going over is Sunday at 1 o'clock. Very, very important game, not only in the NFC North, but in the NFC standings throughout.
Yeah.
Undefeated 3-0 Minnesota Vikings at the 2-1 Green Bay Packers Sunday at 1 o'clock on Fox. Who do you like?
In this game, I think the Vikings are going to force Malik Willis to beat him throwing. Like they're not going to let Josh Jacobs run all up and down the field. I think Flores will give Malik Willis different looks to confuse him. And I like the Vikings on the road, man. The Vikings, they're gonna start 5-0, man. I like the Vikings.
5-0. 5-0. Oh, okay. Well, I can't wait. I know who they play week 5. Can't wait for that. Whoever win that game, that's gonna be the winner of the comeback player of the year. We'll talk about that next week.
I thought 4-0. I'm getting college
football. Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about week 4 and week 5. I'm sorry.
I ain't even see week 5. What they got week 5?
Just FYI, they play the Jets week 5.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Oh
why
yeah.
I'm like,
I
okay.
figured that, but I just wanted to hear you say. I figured that for
They
you
play the
saying
Jets.
that.
The Jets got a tough game this week against them frisky Broncos, so the Jets might not be overlooking that either. I'm gonna take the Packers at home. It's no shot to the Vikings. I love what the Vikings are doing, but I love what the Packers are doing. And I think KOC Kevin O'Connor has done an amazing job with Sam Darnold. But what Matt LaFleur has done with Malik Willis, changing the game plan, like you said earlier, being adaptable, having the ability to change on the fly. I love that. And you know this, I get so sick of coaches and players and coaches in their schemes thinking, oh, well, we can get Tim and Tim can run and shoot. Well, no, if Tim didn't run and shoot where he came from, why try to make him do that? Let's make Tim be successful in what he does best. Malik Willis is not
Exactly.
a passer. He uses his legs. He uses his legs to have the ability to throw. And what Green Bay has done both the last 2 weeks that he's played, they were on one. They were on one. And now they're 2-1. And if they win this game, which I think they will, I know you picked Minnesota, they'll be 3-1, tied for first place in the division with the
Right.
Vikings and the Lions if the Lions win their game next week. So give me the Packers. I'm in love with Matt LaFleur. And I think he'll cook something up to allow the Packers to beat the Vikings this week. Last game of the week that we will preview, Monday Night Football, huge game in the NFC. 3-0 undefeated Seattle Seahawks at the 2-1 Detroit Lions. Again, Monday night, 8:15 Eastern. Make sure I get this station right because they got 2 games next week on Monday night. This game will be on ABC. Seattle at Detroit, Monday night, 8:15 ABC. Who you like?
So for this one, I'm gonna break it down and then get my pick. So Detroit needs to find like a better pass to run ratio. Like off throwing the ball 55 times, that's not going to get them their ultimate goal to the Super Bowl. So I think they need to run Jamar Gibbs more and also use him more out the backfield as well. Like
And use Devin Montgomery too.
yeah, David Montgomery, like them little screen pass and quick pass. That's just really an extension of the run game. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? So I think that and Seattle is actually coming off a impressive dominant win versus Miami. It was the backup quarterback, but it still was dominant. Like I thought Miami would put forth a better effort and a better game. But with that be saying, I'm gonna take Detroit at home. I think Goff has a 300 plus pass performance, and I like Detroit at home.
We agree on this one. I like Detroit at home too. I think Seattle's undefeated. I think it's time for them to lose a game. Not saying they're a bad team, but I just think it's time for them to lose a game. I actually think losing the NFL is actually a good thing. As much as it pains to me for my Bucks to lose at home to the Broncos, a loss is good. Now it brings you back down to earth. Stop reading the press clippings. Stop reading ESPN. Stop listening to Twitter. Stop doing all this other stuff that you're doing, Fox or whatever NFL Network, whatever you watch. Now let's get back to work. I like when you got to grind, you got to work, you got to figure it out. So I think that Detroit will beat Seattle. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, look for Amon-Ra St. Brown. I know they lost Sam Laporta. He was carted off last week. But I think, last week at Arizona, I think that Detroit needs this game. And if you notice, the last 2 times that Seattle has went up to Detroit, Seattle has beat them. The last 2 times it was shootouts. So I
Yep.
think Detroit wants to get back. So give me the Detroit Lions to beat the Seattle Seahawks.
And one thing to piggyback on, I definitely agree with you. You learn more from a loss than an ugly win. Because
Absolutely.
if you win the game, you still feel like you did, you know what I'm saying? You did your job. But if you
Exactly.
lose the game, you go back and look at things that need to be corrected.
Exactly. I'm gonna add one more point to that. My son plays football, and they lost a game by the smallest of small detail. They lost a game from a illegal procedure formation type thing. The smallest details wins you games, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, etc. If you pay attention to the smallest details, you will win. If you nonchalant to the smallest details, you'll lose every time because your opponent is paying
Exactly.
attention. That's what makes Patrick Mahomes great, Tom Brady great, LeBron James great, Kevin Durant great, Steph Curry. They pay attention to the smallest of small details. So when it's time for them to do something big, they ready for it because they can manage the small stuff right as well. I always say I
Exactly.
can't actually do something big if you can't do something small, right? Why would I do that?
Right.
You can't make it work. So with the Lions, again, I just think that play physical, play tough, run your side, run your type of ball, run the ball, play action, That'll make Jared Goff look good and get the ball to those shiny, fast receivers. St. Brown, Williams, etc.
Exactly.
One quick question before we go. Miami, you spoke of Seattle beat Miami. Do you think Miami should stick with Skylar Thompson or go out and get a quarterback? I have a quarterback in mind who they should go out and get.
I would go out and get a quarterback.
Who would you go get?
You talking about free agent wise? Yeah, because you could trade for somebody on somebody else's roster. Oh, who's the eligible free agents? I can't think of nobody else.
Ryan Tannehill, he available. Trying to think. Ryan Tannehill is the best name available to me.
Probably the best name available.
That's a free agent. But if I was them, I would go trade for Russ. I would go trade for Russell Wilson because Justin Fields is going to be a starter. Go get Russ.
Yeah, go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
Go get Russ. Let Russ be your starting quarterback until Tua can come back. That'll keep your head above water. Skylar Thompson, you're going to lose every game. You're not winning no games with him as a quarterback. So go out here and go get Russell Wilson, and build it up from there. But Skylar Thompson's not going to do nothing for you.
I got another day they can trade for. It's going to sound crazy, but over there, I would like him. Go trade for the Browns quarterback, Mr. E to W.
James, I don't have a problem with that.
Go trade for James.
I don't have a problem with that.
I think over there, McDaniels will revitalize his career and get something going because he got the weapons. And my boy finally can see.
Yeah, he got that LASIK fit. Both eyes.
Yeah, he got that LASIK vision now. So
both eyes.
You know what I'm saying? I think you're gonna see something different, man. Go get him. He's definitely better than what you got.
I mean, I can't even comment on it. That's how for certain that is. To piggyback that, I'm not the biggest Jameis fan, but for what Miami's team, if you look at their money in that situation, is to win now. So you can't afford to be like, oh well, you know what, yeah, we're gonna let him do it. Nah, you need to go get him, not him. Him. Two different ways I understand that, ladies and gentlemen. Not him, him. So go get somebody that can get the job done and do what you need to do to keep your head above water. Because, like I said, the way they keep playing, they're going to be eliminated by October the 31st.
For sure.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you guys for watching episode 6 of Highly Opinionated. I want to thank the best co-host in the game, Tim. I want to thank the best producer in the game, Ross. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys for watching. We strive to be the best that we can be. We, again, appreciate y'all for your love and support. For Ross, for Tim, I'm merely Josh. See y'all next week. We out.
Appreciate y'all.